What up everybody, it's your girl July from Kickback Couture, and today I'm going to show you how to make 808s in the new bass synthesizer Monotone in Reason 10.4. So it's going to sound like this. Alright, so let's go ahead and reset this patch, and I'm going to delete my insert effects. Delete. Okay, so we have our initial patch, which sounds like this. Now, in order to get that constant hit like I had, I'm going to turn on retrig, and I'm going to leave on portamento just in case I want to add some sort of slide. So it's on, and let's turn this first oscillator into a sine wave rather than a ramp. We have a ramp, square, and we have triangle, but we're going to use sine. And we're going to leave the oscillator mix as is. However, we are going to turn the FM envelope up to about 65%. And this allows this oscillator to modulate this oscillator. Gonna leave the pitches as is, and we can even add a bit of noise. So our sound will now sound like this. The problem is that we're getting too many high frequencies for this to be an 808. So we could turn the filter cutoff down. But if we turn the filter cutoff down, we're not necessarily going to get the same effect. So with that being said, we'll come back to the filter cutoff, and let's go ahead and change the amp envelope to mirror the shape of an 808 a bit more. I'm actually going to keep my sustain up a bit higher than normal, just so that we can drag it. We can hold the note as long as we want to without it cutting off. Not too fast, at least. Alright, so now let's get back to the filter envelope, and I'm going to turn all of this down. And now when we play a note, when we play our notes, our pattern, we're not getting much high information at all. So as I turn the envelope knobs to the right, we will let in more and more high frequencies from the filter. And that's with any knob. It just follows the steps in correlation. So at first we have the attack, then the decay, then the sustain, and then we have the release. So let's go ahead and turn up the decay a bit, and then we get that familiar 808 punch. And let's turn up the sustain. Same with the release. We can even turn up the filter velocity a bit. And now we have a good sounding 808 to start with. Now we could add chorus, but I prefer to keep my 808s mono. If you want chorus, it would sound something like this. You can turn down the spread. But as I said, I'm not going to go that direction. Instead, I'm going to go ahead and add scream. Scream for distortion. I'm going to put it on the tape option, and I'm going to go for extreme settings and turn the compression all the way to the left. So this is what it sounds like before I turn the compression to the left. Turn this down a bit. We can even go on to turning up the drive in the filter. So experiment. If for some reason you decide you don't want the click in your 808 and you're going to add a kick drum, simply turn down the filter decay. And then you have less of an attack. If there's some sort of pop, we can fix that where the amp envelope is for the attack. And you can even experiment with different types of distortion. So besides Scream, Reason also has Pulverizer, which is also really incredible. So we'll bypass Scream, and let me make sure I didn't do anything crazy with these settings here. Looks pretty good. So we have Pulverizer on. You can add Dirt, Squash, make it really dirty, sound really crazy. Mess with the tone knob. Of course, we have filter and trimmer here, but I'm not gonna mess with those as this is an 808. Let's see what else Reason has to offer in the form of effects. I'm thinking something like synchronous could be pretty good as well. We do have the soft tube bass amp and the soft tube amp. Let's see what the soft tube bass amp will give us in bypass Pulverizer. So this definitely does not keep it in mono. Kind of makes it sound like it's in the background because it sounds like it's behind me right now. But nevertheless, it's a cool effect. We can go from a modern to vintage amp. Change the cabinet. And just overall experiment with different things, different settings. Let's see what else we can try here, just in terms of experimenting with stock devices. We use Scream. Let's see what synchronous will sound like. Gonna bypass this. Add some distortion. Let's put it on 1. If we were to modulate it, so that could help possibly add movement to your tracks if you wanted to modulate the distortion for some reason. Let's see what else we have. We got full back distortion from one of the old half racks. Let's go ahead and give that a try. We got this bypassed. That's a pretty cool sound, and then we can even add Audiomatic and get a nice tape sound going in there. Bypass this for a second. See what bottom sounds like. Vinyl's gonna add that crackle. So I like going with this tape effect, and then I'll keep Scream. And that's how we make an 808 in monotone. Basically, you just want to make sure you're using a sine wave for your oscillator. Turn up the FM envelope and play with the envelope settings. Now we can even experiment with different waveforms and change the oscillator mix. This sounds pretty cool as well. Triangle. Ramp. Here's the triangle. But that is all I have for you today. If you like this video, give it a like, subscribe, and most definitely let me know what you would like to see next. It's all Couture, Kickback, and Cook Up. Also, be sure to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, friend me on Facebook, all that good stuff. Go to the website. I have tons of free kits available. I'll have the link up in the cards for you.